Well, I'm here with Carolyn Santaniello. How are you?
I'm good.
Well, welcome to our
Thank you.
podcast, Mike Hickman with Carolyn Santaniello. So, boy, it's been quite a year, wouldn't you say?
Yes, indeed.
And tell me tell me a little bit about what you did this year and how you changed roles.
Well, it was quite an exciting year. I have been helping out Seven Gables as a mentor and doing some training for several
Hmm.
years. And this year, Mike asked me to become director of training. So that's quite a different role for me. At the same time, I am still selling real estate as well. So transitioning that and putting those two together has been interesting and exciting. So it's been a year of growth for me, for sure.
Nice to hear. Was that one of your words, growth, before the year started?
It wasn't, but it ended up being.
It ended up being. I know how that goes
Uh-huh.
when you suddenly just take a right turn and you're into another field or doing something different. So tell me, what do you like best about training? Carolyn, let's talk about Carolyn for a minute.
Okay.
What does Carolyn really deep down inside like best about training?
Well, I think I'll take the maestro term and change that to educating rather than training. I love helping people be the best that they can be. So whether that's in a physical capacity of actually educating people, whether that's coaching people, whether that's helping my clients understand the process and feel comfortable, um,
Mhm.
in all aspects. I love being the facilitator to help educate people and help them be better and get what they want.
So, in essence, I mean, do you look at it like there's the personal side,
Hmm.
which could include like health and just any kind of personal goals they may have, whatever that may be, their life list, whatever,
Hmm.
to borrow a ninja term, and their business side. So, how do you go delve into or jump into the personal side?
Well, that's my favorite part.
Oh, okay.
That's what I love about coaching specifically. I love being able to work through um, whatever that individual's actual purposes, like what is important to them.
Like,
And
what's their why?
what's their why
Okay.
and what their life list is,
Okay.
and then making sure that all of the things that we do in our business is in alignment with whatever that is. And then going back and checking in and looking, like after a year, gosh, what have I done to make sure that we're in alignment with what's important to us? Like, for instance, some people are super passionate about their community. And when you implement your community involvement with your business, it's a whole different level of satisfaction than just selling real estate.
Do you see that often where they overlap?
Yes.
Like your personal life becomes part of
Yes.
your business life part of your personal life. It's
Mhm.
hard to differentiate that,
Mhm.
even though everybody says, well, you have to have a work-life balance.
Mhm.
I'm kind of a little afraid of that phrase.
Mhm.
I know there has to be balance, but where do you stop the personal and draw the line with business and vice versa? I mean, how do you do that?
Well,
And that's a tough
that's two.
question,
Yeah, that's
so I
two
realize.
different things. So
Right.
I think that people as individuals are much more satisfied if the two worlds collide. If you keep the worlds separate, I think it's less satisfying. So from what I've seen, at least within our
Interesting.
industry, when you allow yourself to be authentic in everything that you do within your real estate business as well as in your life, it just naturally flows together and it's a greater level of satisfaction. When we keep things separate, I think there's tends to be more resentment. So this is just my perspective,
Hmm.
working with people,
Interesting.
that it just brings more satisfaction. But with that being said, yes, it can overtake our lives. And
It's been known to happen.
how we do that, how we stop that, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. We should ask Lisa
I'm sure.
Grubel.
I'm sure you'll figure it out. I'm sure you'll figure it out because we all need that break, right?
Yes, we
So you
do.
don't get burned out. That's a very interesting concept that you just brought up about how you can resent that when they're separated like that. That's very, I'd never contemplated that, even after all these years, because I've always blended the two. I never really
Hmm.
thought of them as separate. Although there are some personal things that are separate, most of the time, that is personal time is not separate. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting. So, what is your favorite part of training, other than what you just described, like tangible part of training?
I think I would say
What's your favorite subject?
Oh, my favorite
Let me
subject.
narrow it down.
Okay. Forms. I
Forms.
love
Oh my
forms.
gosh, forms. Okay.
I
Okay.
think that's where I'm a little bit of a freak and probably not like
Yeah.
most agents.
I remember the days.
Yeah.
That's right.
I actually really love diving into the forms and understanding them and making sure that we filled them out correctly. Not that I always do fill it out correctly, but we're all
That's
human.
right. So let me ask you another question about you then personally. Is when you went to Ninja, going through Ninja, what were your two personality traits? Which one was dominant? Which one was secondary?
Power, which was surprising,
Dominant?
was dominant.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So that
Yeah.
means secondly, you're party.
But I disagree. I told Don, I think I'm peace. I think I'm an
That's what I
anomaly.
would have thought. I would have
Yeah,
thought
because I thought I would be peace,
I
but
thought you would have been peace and perfection.
nope. I was power, and
And
I think
what
it's
aspects of
peace.
that, like, do you attach yourself to for power? That word power. What is that? How did you fall into that category?
I don't recall because that was a long time ago, but I would say just knowing myself and my evolution as a business owner and leader, I
Huh?
would say that I am very decisive. So once I know when I want something, I just go get it. It's not there's no hesitation. And I think that's where probably I'm not a perfection. I don't as much as I love the details, if when I know I want something, I just go get it.
So you don't do your research first or
No, I do I
anything?
do a lot of research
Oh,
first,
but that's what a
yes.
perfectionist does. That's what a
Yes,
perfectionist
I do a
does.
lot of research first.
Oh, I
Mhm.
see. Okay.
Yes.
Or it could be perfection and power.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah,
I can see that too. Because if you really like forms, that is a just dead giveaway for a perfectionist personality.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm complicated. I'm still a work
We
in
all are.
progress.
I think we all are, for that matter. So let me ask you a question now. Here you
Yes.
are. You took on this new role at Seven Gables, and you're all these people that come into the company I mean, they're entrusting you with their careers, basically, to get them launched. So you've taken on this new role. It's 2021. Now it's December. Here we are at the end of the year. And I'm going to ask you to look forward, okay, to December as you and I sit here a year from now, December 30th, 2022. Tell me what just happened in 2022 with you in training. We're going to forget the rest of the world because
Okay.
that's a mess. We know that already, right?
Mhm.
That's too complicated. But tell me what you think. No, not what you think, but what you believe just happened in 2022.
So for myself, within the context of what I have control over,
Right.
um, with education specifically, that there will be a duplicatable process. So that is what will have happened in 2022. That when agents start with Seven Gables, they know what to expect. They have what they need. They have all the tools that they need. They have the support that they need as far as their not just their education, but also coaching. Um, and agents that have been here for a long time that they are having their needs met as well. And I think that's one of the things I haven't yet been able to tackle, but I in 2022 I will be that there is so much room for growth within our community, within our Seven Gables community, and I would love to see our agents be better at what they do, one in their competency, but even more importantly in growing their business and perhaps doing things
Hmm.
differently so they're moving forward with the future because the real estate industry is going to be changing a lot in the next 5 years, so it's important for us as a company to be there to support those agents. So that's what I would like to see.
Carolyn, so tell me what you think. What were some of the new things that happened in 2022 that really paid? Um, there was a kind of a low effort but high impact, okay, to get these things out there that really had an impact for our agents.
Well, there's a lot,
Okay.
and I would say probably COVID really fast forwarded a lot of these changes for 2022. Number one, video. We are all used to being on camera now.
Right.
So there should really be no excuse. We've been on Zoom for a year and a half. So video is very important for us to be as agents and as a company, making sure that we're utilizing a lot of the short little snippets of
The
information that we can
personal
share.
connection,
Yes,
the
the
personal
personal
connection
connection.
that people are craving because of
Yes.
COVID too.
Yes. So that could be on the end of working with other agents. That could
Mhm,
be with potential leads. That could be with people that you don't know on Instagram, on YouTube.
mhm.
So there's a lot of different venues that we're going to be utilizing video in 2022, both long form, short form, and then in addition to that, there will be more probably video, potentially video advertising. You know,
Mhm.
whether it's our Instagram posts that we're boosting, Facebook posts that we're boosting, advertising on YouTube channel. And there's just so many things. There's Amazon podcast. There's just so many things that we will be doing in 2022 as a company and supporting our agents to make sure that they are ahead of the game. And we have to really make sure that we set ourselves apart because there are a lot of changes in the industry that are coming up, and we want to make sure that we are showing that what our value is, and we're not just a dinosaur. We're not just sitting
Mhm.
behind our desks, but we're out there, we're in front of people, we're creating that connection, and people see us and they know who we are. So, and then specifically, is a lot of room for us to learn more about advertising within, as I already mentioned, within YouTube, but with Google My Business page as well, setting those up, making sure that they're solid, moving our reviews onto them, doing our advertising to make sure that our name is out there, and
Mhm.
agents in the company, we are being exposed to as many people as possible. Um, so let's see, moving on from video and social media, um, which we
2022.
could spend 20 minutes on social
Oh,
media.
we could. We sure
Yeah.
could. We sure could. But 2022 had a couple nuances. Okay, and it had this thing called crypto. It
Mhm.
had this thing called NFTs,
Right.
and
Funny that you mentioned that because actually I just was reading an article yesterday about the
okay,
metaverse and how real
yes,
estate and the metaverse. So there is a lot for us to
yes.
learn as agents,
And
that we need to be aware of.
did you see the one property sold for 3.5 million in the metaverse?
No, I didn't. I did not
Oh
read that
my gosh,
article.
3.5 million.
Wow.
Incredible, the
Crazy.
highest sale ever in the metaverse. And people are going,
Wow.
"What is the metaverse? What is going on here?"
Well, that's
I
exactly why
know,
I read the
right?
article. I'm
I
like, "What the heck
know,
is this metaverse? Is this
for sure.
a video game?" That's what it
Yep.
feels like, right? This is a whole different world. So, yeah, there's a lot for us as agents and as a company to be setting ourselves apart and to be aware of and make sure that we are, on the forefront and involved in all of these changes. And definitely NFTs are going to be a big part of the future as far as payment and the way people are going to be distributing funds as well as actual information,
And for those
content.
listening, Carolyn referred to NFTs, and they're it is basically a digital file. Okay, it's a non-fungible, if you will, token, and it's packaged in a digital file. I'm not going to go any further than that because I don't know enough about it other than everything I've read, I've talked to people about, and I have a sense about it, but I'm not qualified to really speak on it because I don't have the details.
Right.
But I know that there are companies right now in the country who have opened up divisions of their company that will allow crypto to buy property.
Hmm.
And certain
Right.
sellers will allow crypto to buy property. And it's fascinating if you read about it, how it works, because the original owner, in some cases, and can sell it to somebody. And when it gets sold again, he gets a piece of that action too.
Hmm.
Action being the price if it escalates in price. So it's very fascinating out there.
Right.
And to talk about change, those are metamorphic changes.
Yes.
I think that's going to take place in our industry. Maybe a little more slowly than
Hmm.
video and things like that. But I can see where that might become very, very popular with the millennial. And
Hmm.
I don't like that term millennial, but let's just use it anyway for right now because there's so many subgroups of millennials, okay? But I think it may become very popular in a younger age group to do that because a lot of people made a lot of money in crypto,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
I mean, we just sold a house to a young gentleman. What was he, 25, 26 years old, who drove up in his Lamborghini, who bought a $1.8 million house cash, right?
Hmm.
And he made his money in crypto. Very
Hmm.
fascinating.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and just with this whole new thing with the metaverse, that is a whole different world,
Well,
literally a
literally,
whole
literally a
different
whole
world
different world.
where we're going to be utilizing all those same things that we were just talking about. So, although it will be a slower growth than things
Hmm.
like video and such, it is still important and is actually changing. The landscape is changing very, very rapidly. So as a company and as an industry, it's important that we are part of that and we know where we're going, because you're right.
Good.
How are we going to communicate with somebody that's 25 years old that their world is the crypto world if we can't speak it and we don't understand
So I think it was really cool that you taught classes on crypto and NFTs in 2022.
it?
Looking back, and she's like, "What?"
Exactly, and there's a lot of people laughing right now.
Yeah, well, I'm laughing too at myself, so don't worry about that. What else would you like to add about training at Seven Gables? It's your passion. You do a great job of it. People really enjoy what you bring to them, the substance, the substantive issues, the information, but more than that, the care that you bring to it, because you actually really care for the people. Anything you want to add to that?
I think what you just said is probably what I would add, is that it is a passion, and
Hmm.
I am doing this because I love our people, I love our industry, and I find it very important that we all come together and be the best that we can be. So I'm thrilled to be able to play a part in people's success. So I'm honored.
Great. That's nice. Well, we're
Yeah.
honored to have you. Is there anything you want to ask me? I'm turning it on you now.
So
You
tell me
can
about
ask
that
me.
crypto.
Well, I'm learning about it. I know
Uh-huh.
people that have bought crypto,
Mhm.
and some of them have done very well, and others I scratch my head at because they're trying kind of the offshoots of crypto, trying to make money there. So I'll get back to you
Okay.
in a couple of months, and I'll be able to tell you much more.
Yes.
I believe that the NFTs, the tokens, the digital files, here's what I like about it, because that's one of my primary focus points of 2022 will be, is taking the pain out of a real estate transaction and out of the lending process.
Mhm.
And I know for a fact that with the NFTs, you can close out a purchase within 2 days. You can close out a loan within a day, perhaps two. So maybe it's 3 days to close an escrow. And then the seller just stays in the house for the next 27 days if it's a 30-day time period. But what it does is it takes the pain out of this process that is so cumbersome, so archaic at times, and yet people resist changing it.
Mhm.
And I think this is the beginning of the momentum that will change the way the real estate process works, and will change for sure the way the lending process works. Because if you can do a digital file and get everything done in 24 hours, and I know on a personal experience, having dealt with a lender lately in buying a home in the desert, that um, I submitted my file on Friday afternoon at 4:30 because I was running around crazy, and I was approved Monday at 10:30. And it wasn't because of me; it's because of the process they have in place to get
Mhm.
approved. That's what we need in our industry. So that's my focus. That'll be a big focus of mine in 2022, figuring out and bringing to our company for our clients an easier, better way to buy a property and to get a loan on a property for sure.
Right. Yeah. That's one of the things that I enjoy about you, Mike, is that you are very curious about change and um, learning about the future and the way that we can be better as an industry. I think that that's a passion that both of us share. So,
Yeah, I agree with you.
yeah,
Well, thank you for being with me today. I really
thank you. It's
appreciate your
fun.
time and all the information. I think people that will be listening to this will certainly have some great information from you. So thank
Great.
you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Carolyn.